In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and thick forests, there lived a young woman named Nkem. She was known for her beauty, but even more for her kindness. Many suitors had come to ask for her hand in marriage, but she turned them all away, waiting for a love that felt true. One evening, as the sun dipped low over the river, Nkem carried a clay pot to fetch water. The air was still, and the only sound was the gentle ripple of the stream. As she bent down to fill her pot, a voice deep and smooth as flowing honey broke the silence. "Forgive me, beautiful one. I have never seen such grace in my life." Nkem startled, turned and found herself staring into the eyes of a man unlike any she had ever seen. He was tall, with dark gleaming skin, and dressed in pure white. His smile was warm, his gaze steady. "Who are you?" Nkem asked, her heart suddenly racing. "My name is Obina," he said, stepping closer. "I come from a faraway land, but I believe fate brought me here just to find you." His words were soft, yet they settled deep within her. Though she had never seen him before, there was something about him, his voice, his presence, that made her feel as if she had known him forever. Over the next few weeks, Obina became a part of her world. They spent long hours together, walking through the fields, laughing by the riverbank. He never spoke of his family, nor did he mention where he lived. But Nkem did not care. Love had found her at last. When Obina asked for Nkem's hand in marriage, her parents hesitated. "Who are his people?" Her father asked. "No one knows where he comes from." "What does it matter?" Nkem argued. He is a good man. He treats me well, with love and respect." Her mother frowned. "A tree without root does not stand forever. Are you sure you know who he is?" But love had blinded Nkem, and after much pleading, her parents agreed. The wedding was grand, and the village came to celebrate. Yet there was something strange. None of Obina's family attended. "Where are your parents?" An elder whispered. "They live far away," Obina replied with a smile. "They could not travel." And with that, the matter was forgotten. After the wedding, Obina took Nkem to live in a small hut on the outskirts of the village. The days were filled with love and laughter, but at night, something strange happened. Every night, Nkem would wake up and find that Obina was gone. His side of the bed was cold, and no matter how long she waited, he never returned until morning. One night, she confronted him. "Obina, where do you go at night?" He chuckled softly. "You must have been dreaming, my love. I am always here." But Nkem knew what she had seen. She began to watch him closely. She noticed that he never ate food, no matter how delicious the meal is. He never prayed at the family shrine. His footprints sometimes vanished into thin air. A deep fear settled in her heart. Who or what had she married? One night, when Obina sipped out of the hut, Nkem decided to follow him. She moved quietly, carefully not to make a sound. He walked through the forest, deeper and deeper, until he reached an abandoned graveyard. There, under the pale moonlight, he stopped before a grave. Nkem's blood turned to ice. She stepped closer, looking at the headstone. It carried his name. Obina died 10 years ago. Her breath caught in her throat. She covered her mouth to keep from screaming as she watched in horror. Obina began to fade. His once strong body grew transparent. His face peeled and hollow. The handsome man she had loved was no longer there. In his place stood a shadow ghost. Nkem stumbled backward, her heart pounding. She had married a spirit. The final goodbye. Obina turned, and for the first time, she saw the sadness in his eyes. You were never supposed to find out," he whispered. "I loved you, Nkem. That love brought me back." Tears streamed down her face. "You are not real," she said. You do not belong in this world. A gust of wind hurled through the graveyard. The spirits around them began to stir. Go back to where you came from, Obinna, she said, her voice trembling. Obinna reached out as if to touch her one last time, but his fingers faded before they could meet her skin. Goodbye, my love. And with that, he disappeared into the night. The lesson came round back to the village, her heart heavy with sorrow and fear. The elders performed cleansing rituals to protect her from the spirit world, and she never spoke of Obinna again. But from that day on, she looked at love differently. She had learned a painful lesson. Love is blind, but sometimes it is blind to danger. And so, whenever young girls in the village spoke of love at first sight, she would only smile and say, "Be careful who you give your heart to, for not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay."